Hey everyone, I first wanted to welcome you. I've been going through a lot, as you obviously are aware of if you're staying steady with my content. Um, I believe wholeheartedly that the work that I have put in to just my writing in general has been very maligned. Um, Going back in my writing, I realize things now today that I didn't see then, and it pieces a lot of my work together with stuff that I have going on today. So I just want you guys to be aware of that life has been most assuredly a struggle as far as that's concerned. And I just wanted you guys to know I really appreciate you guys for being here and listening to what I have to say throughout. I believe that wholeheartedly this stuff does matter. I don't believe that anywhere else in the world is really touching on the issues that I'm trying to go into and in the depths that I'm willing to go into them with. I just wanted people to be aware of those things before I get into this, because this is about war crimes being taken over my life, or what I believe are wholehearted war crimes over my life. Because look, when a person you know has the ability to hear story after story and know you in that kind of way, and then it's just a collection of how they can use all of what they know to target you in such a fashion to hurt you in the worst ways. I'm sorry, but those things hurt worse than anything in the world. And I really truly mean that. It's like, I guess I feel like they would have been better off if they had just shot me, because it hurts that bad. And I don't know, I can't really explain that depth of pain that happens inside of me, but it's like it's like you're not yourself. That pain, you're not yourself, and that pain just legit is like, uh, when you have anxiety and it like throws your heart all weird. It's like it stays on the opposite side of that, and just, or like, it stays on the opposite end of like your heart's rhythm or something like that, and it just sinks you. I don't know how else to explain it, but anyway, thanks for being here, and here's the rest of the speech. This is to my ex-friend and ex-girl. I loved you guys. I trusted you both. You were my best friends, and now I'm standing on the edge of this very hardcore situation. My heart's just been completely shattered. My mind's been completely tormented by the realization of what you actually had done to me. All of them post-it notes that were from in my past that I had in my mind started flooding back to me. And then reading into your fear, you're unable to come into my own home. And then just realizing when I dropped that day that this wasn't just betrayal. You motherfuckers just tried to kill me. Covertly, poisoning me, leaving me in that slough of abuse, aiming to stop me in my tracks, to stop my heart or make my heart pop or whatever. That night that I felt the slow of my heart to the point where I wanted to wail out and cry because of all the emotional wreckage that was flooding my mind. I needed to just cry, and I couldn't cry, because if I cried, my heart would have popped or stopped or what have you. It would have gone into that hyper state in an uncontrollable fashion, where the only thing that I could do was breathe in deep and hope that I could cry later. And I did. And I do. So last night for me was terrifying. Tears flowed so endlessly, blinding me, uh, telling me that this pain I'm feeling is getting worse because, look, there's certain truths I know that drop me. And then I'm thinking about all of the things that I do not know. And then it just goes into, I don't know, man. You have no fucking accountability towards me whatsoever in a fucking relationship to ever have had a relationship with me ever to begin with, to be able to move how you just did. Because motherfucker, even while doing this and going through this kind of narcissistic abuse with you, you had the nerve and the audacity to bring up how you moved in my life before by how you said, oh, I think if someone had set something up. And what he was talking about here was how in the midst of doing my current girl, how he moved and how he moved from doing my last one. What a fucking dick. You were getting at the fucking fact that my ex-girl of 9 years snapped at her fucking kid. Snapped at her fucking kid to do what she fucking did and move how you fucking all had moved. Like that isn't some asshole move that doesn't otherwise tell a motherfucker, yeah, just go home, little boy, and kill yourself. You'll be better off. Just go home, little boy, and kill yourself. Because that's otherwise what you did. So you want to play about me coming up from having sexual abuse in my history, and then you want to placate on that? Okay. Just put it into my post-it notes that, well, maybe you are. Maybe you are hacking me. Maybe you have information on me that you shouldn't have. And you know how I think you got it? I think I know verbatim how you got it. And how you've been fucking insidiously acting in the background of my data, my private life, my information in that kind of fucked up way. So you could take it to these kinds of fucking levels. You sick ass fucking cage ass bitch. Look up what happens to people like you. Online. Look it up. And the real fucked up part about it all is, I didn't know this, G. I didn't know this until that night. Truthfully, you couldn't come in and get a beer from me. Like, you could come up into my own home with my own girl making a copy of my key, but you couldn't come up into my own home. My own home. Wow, motherfucker. If I had woken up 30 seconds earlier that day, I think there would have been a bloodbath, wouldn't have there had been? Waking up to that kind of depth of infidelity, knowing the night before. Knowing. And the only reason I knew was because of how you've made me feel before. That's the only reason I knew. Is because I was in that resolve. I had prayed that prayer. I had taken it there. You know what I'm saying? No, I don't think you do know what I'm saying. But I had taken it there. So, I don't know. Maybe let's talk about that knowing. You know what I'm saying? Because that's like that's discernment. That's a feeling you're not gonna escape. See what I'm saying? And it's I mean, it's truth. It's you're not gonna untie the belly of the spirit of the Lord. You know, like to and through like that. You're not gonna be able to. So what happens to the man in the mind of a man that almost gets killed by his own friend, his own people that he loves? That mind becomes a warfare. That mind becomes a straight up battlefield. Trust is completely shattered. It's not a matter of if that person can trust you, dumb motherfucker. And the paranoia sets in. Every memory that you've ever had starts to travel into doubt. Was any of it real? Did you even ever care? The questions are relentless, endless, and the answers you're coming up with are completely elusive. And it wasn't just a night. I feel you poisoned me. Like I said, I called my mom, and I'm like, after that bonfire at the St. Paul Park House, you know, motherfucker, we think different. I'm sitting there inviting you into a fucking actual good, decent, healthy, loving kind of relationship while you're sitting there looking to strengthen your own resolve for your own gains. You know what my resolve was? Finding out if you had it in you to move in that kind of way, because if you did, it was my answer to how that fucked up my whole life. From when I was, 23, 22? So I'm sorry, but what you did to me, covertly wrecking me up in that kind of way, and covertly stealing my data and information to then try and steal my life away from me, and not just my breath, but to actually step inside of places of my life. You're a fucking dumbass fucking fool for thinking that you can get away with that kind of bullshit, because I feel like I actually have the right to rip your motherfucking face the fuck off. That depth of pain that just drops me in my grind daily. Yeah, so you want to come around and then you want to fucking sprinkle some shit around in my fucking food, you cage ass bitch, to subvert the actions of where you have taken my life from before. And God forbid my ever fucking coming to find out all the fucking truth and the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God get it in this life. Because you moved in a way that's putting me in a very, very, very vicarious position. Taking my whole perception of who I even am to the point of where I don't even give a damn. And that is not me. But that's the reality of me now. Because of the way you dumbass fucking moved up and on my life. That pain is excruciating. Both physical and emotional and spiritual. I held on for dear life that night to the Lord and my resolve, knowing that if I was to be wailing out, I could die. And no, to be verbatim, I would have died. Anybody out here that didn't have the Lord like I did in that way, or the Lord didn't have me in that way, or them in that way, wailing out would have died of that poison. Did I deserve to wail out, though? In all of that emotional pain? Yeah, I think I did. But with the physical pain and the poisoning and that sleuth of abuse that you have fucking led me into, motherfucker, I believe 100% that what you did to me is absolute war crimes over my humanity in entirety. In an entirety. Well, go figure, the internet's not working right. Like, it's just stuck. And I mean, things like this happen all of the time. Like my drive, it came to me late. They had involvement in that, I believe, because it's been slowing me up. Financial resolve. It's always something. You know what I'm saying? But these are war crimes over my life. How are they not war crimes? And I'm not putting it out there to question perceptions of reality. I'm questioning very real things, not off the wall things. But it's like this. Any man that's got it in him to do that to somebody in the first place has got it in him to do other stuff. And it's like, oh, well, let's see where I can take this, and let's see where I can take that, and then let's push this there, and let's try and push him there, and let's see if we can't pull him over here so we can go over here. You know what I mean? It's that kind of sleuth of abuse that you don't necessarily see until it's too late. And then when it's confrontational, and I was confronting them both, then it's like, oh, what are we gonna do? Have a bonfire? And I'm just gonna like, oh yeah, I'm inviting you both over for Christmas. We're gonna have a bonfire at my place, and I'll just sit there and read into the both of you. It'll never happen. And I know it'll never happen. Because you're a cage ass motherfucking piece of shit that would move this way. And then he's also in the midst of it, in the midst of this narcissism, insinuating contact about his former contact with an ex, specifically to suicide me. So while I was praying and pleading for that kind of survival, I was also triggered by a lot of emotions. If it weren't for my strength in my faith that I found in that desperate moment, I don't think I would be here at all. I don't think I would be here at all. And it's not it, and not only I don't think I would be here at all, it's like I really don't think I would be here at all. So I guess I just wanted to talk about it a little bit and more in depth here, because what has been happening to me does feel more like a war crime over me in entirety, being committed in the shadows of every aspect of my life. The abuse I've endured isn't just emotional, it's an insidious assault on every facet of my being, of my life, my whole entirety. It's like being targeted in a covert operation designed to destroy me from the inside out, leaving no trace for anyone to recognize anything or even truly be able to see that there is anything happening to him. No, it's meant to have him look like he's eroded upon his own self. But look, he's poisoned me. He's been poisoning me, and now I know that. What I saw saw the corner of my eye coming out of the bathroom wasn't no like that was meant to do the same thing. And that was before all of this. That was before all of this. And so when I have that same feeling coming from something my girl is doing at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, when I'm like, I should be on my grind, and I'm falling apart, and I didn't just eat a whole bunch of sugar, you know, like, I think that, I don't know, I think that it is a silent war played against me, and I'm meant to like figure it out, and then I feel like I did. I feel like I did with what I've gone through and with what I felt, and like my story, and like my whole like the Heartworks procedure that I have within my own Heartworks value was not only for resolve, but I want to love life. There's nothing wrong with that. And that's specifically what I told him, is that, gee, there's nothing wrong with me trying to like better myself. There's nothing wrong with that. Something wrong with somebody that's trying to hurt somebody and trying to better themselves. That's called working in iniquity. And that's the battlefield of the whole narcissistic, silent warfare that's been being played against me. And look, it staged me up for in innumerable attempts. It staged me up for that type of mind frame that throws you into that, you know, you're just not worth anything in this life. No one's gonna ever give a damn about you. And I don't think that's true. It just hurts, is all. And it hurts really deep, and you have to fucking be alone a lot. And I'm at the point where it's like, I want somebody in my life, but I don't want to do this again. I don't want to go through any of this again. So it hurts. So it's not just a personal betrayal, it's a systemic effort to dismantle me, my life, my normalcy, to find any kind of organic living going on in my life at all. Be apparently like, oh, like I could even smile real. Even if them pills did help or whatever in that way, it's all fake. You don't want that. You don't need that. You need to get through what's emotionally draining you in these kinds of events. And if you're put in that kind of circumstance, you're never gonna find this kind of thing out in the truth. Because it is. It's financially ruined me. It's emotionally ruined me. And it's spiritually drained me. They've disrupted my ability to establish and sustain my own life. And like I had that conversation with her already. Like I don't want you around in my life if you even have it in you to do these kinds of things. And then I'm coming to find out that she does, and that it's going to a whole mess of deeper levels than I was ever aware of or made aware of. So it left me in a constant state of instability and fear, and legitimately, and I mean legitimately, pushing me in there, driving that man into there. And then the financially is like hacking me, maligning me, devastating me. It's a relentless attack on my resources, draining me to my resolve in anything, to absolve myself of anything that's happening to me, even, to try and pull myself out from under. And lately, I mean, it's even tried to hack, I believe, my child support payment systems, because I've been paying my child support and it's showing up that I haven't. And it's an intent to take my driver's license, which is once again the same stuff that happened before, in verbatim. This isn't just an attack on my finances, it's an attack on my basic human rights as a human being. By making it look like I'm not meeting my obligations, they're creating a narrative that paints me as an irresponsible person, making it harder for me to survive. It's a deliberate effort to break me down, steal away my dignity and my ability to care for myself and my loved ones. And these are deliberate attacks because I have pictures of the actual receipts. Like I take screenshots of the stuff so that if it disappears, I still have it. And here I am actually finding reason why I needed to be so paranoid to take screenshots of all that kind of activity. Because look, if someone's in my data, they're in my home, they're going through my private life for God knows how long, and God knows for what reasons and what depths of it that it goes to, they have zero reason and zero excuse to be able to do that and think that they can get away with it. But it takes away your dignity. I can't take it. The stress and fear that it creates is overwhelming. Every day now feels like a battlefield, just to stay afloat, just to prove that just to prove that I'm trying to do something from this unjustly targeted fucking maligned ass bullshit. I mean, and the government systems are all like, they're great at what they do. You know, don't get me wrong, but when it's like this, and when there is hacking and maligning going on, and there is the ability for someone to get inside of your data to just in the nick of time do shit to make it so. I mean, these are things that are affecting my life. And it's like my job, my home, my ability to fight back. It's a vicious cycle that's just left to drown me out and keep me down. So I mean, I believe wholeheartedly that that is a covert war against me in my entirety. It's affected my mind, my heart, obviously. if my physical reality, my reality in front of me, everything I speak on, everything I was writing on to create a formidable thing had nothing to do with that. I mean, the reason I started doing heart work in the first place probably had a lot to do with his activities in my life, but I didn't know that. It was just, I was targeted, and I just could feel it. You know, when you're targeted, you're not going to be able to set it down. It's a pervasive pain that's just hard to escape. There's no end in sight. Like, legit, there's no end in sight. You lose jobs, you lose homes, you lose cash, you have parasite infections, you have fucking things going on in a sleuth of a fucking abusive way. Who's anybody that can crawl up from underneath that? And then it's like, oh, they wanna push you and make you crazy. They wanna push you and make you crazy. Yeah, of course they want to make you out to be crazy, you dumb motherfucker. Because you have to be fucking crazy to get out of this shit that they're doing to you. And they still sit back and they wonder to themselves, how in the fuck are you able to make it through? I'm still here fighting, even through them tears. Even coming to grips at times that's just like, Lord, if I die, I die. But it's just so unfucking fair. Even in tears, coming to grips and holding my heart, just like pushing on it, like, there's stuff going on. I was constantly going in before all the old money for them to say, no, there's nothing wrong with your heart. You have a good, strong, healthy heart. Well, I don't know, why is this going on? Why am I feeling this way? And then now and now I feel like I know why. And it's been every single time that he's come around, I felt like I'm ghosting. Let's just talk about that a little bit. He didn't come out to Elk River, and once he did, he was out in Elk River. I was on the back steps of my stoop talking to my friend, feeling like I'm being ghosted out of myself. And it wasn't like anything to do with me doing anything wrong with my health. I really think he slipped something in, the same thing that he's done before. Same thing in another place I was living in. Same thing in St. Paul Park. Same thing in another few areas of my life. And each one of these are telling me that he's trying to subvert the reason that he's hacked me and maligned me in that kind of fucked up way. And I don't think people really get that. That fear is just so real. That fear is just so deep. That sense of betrayal is just so cutting and cutting and cutting. It's like I was just lopped off and drowning in it. But then my reality was black, and I'm left in this black box, unable to figure it all out. So the psychological impact of the betrayal is immense. It's not just the fear of death, not just the utter destruction of my own trust and my ability to trust again, but the mind becomes a mental maze of conflicting emotions, love and hate, trust and suspicion, hope and despair, topsy-turvy in every direction you could fucking imagine. Every interaction, every memory gets re-examined and looked into for signs, into trying to understand how the fuck could you do this to me in the first fucking place, you dumb motherfucker. Survival becomes uncertain, but it also becomes a must. So every day is literal battle. Every morning upon my wake is a battle. Every night I go to bed as a struggle. My body tries to heal. My mind is in this relentless torment. The betrayal seeps in every single thought, every feeling, making it so hard just for my body to relax. And then distinguish between reality and nightmare. Sure, I'm surviving for now, but the future is uncertain to me. The wounds that have been created and these scars that ran so fucking very deep. You gotta be kidding me to think you think you're gonna get away with that kind of sleuth of abuse, motherfucker. I believe wholeheartedly that's why the Lord is there, so that in these times of struggle and pain, we go to the Lord, and we have the Lord to go to. And then, not just to mention that, but I've been going to the Lord with everything, day in and day out, because of how you moved in my life. In a resolve, I want to talk to you all day and every day, Lord. So, you can go ahead and not believe in the Lord, but the Lord is going to be at work, and you're going to feel that work. I don't care if it takes your death to feel that work. Because the mind of a man that was almost killed by his own friend, life becomes a very, very fragile thing. Each breath is a victory. Each step I get forward out of the mess that you led me in before is a testament to my own resilience. And then, coming up into this place, I was hacked again, wasn't I? I was hacked real good. I had to start new, all in a matter of days, with work, everything else I had going on, crawling up from homelessness, just getting my stuff together. And that's how you wanted to move up into my life, to totally stop me from getting a place. So I had words, and I want to let you know an example of good words in that kind of situation for the Father is just to say, Lord Father, it's in your word that no weapons can be formed against me that shall prosper. Let's make this so. Anything that's stopping me from getting into this home that I've been praying for years, based on also how you moved in my life, causing me to go homeless, motherfucker, because I don't think I would have gone homeless if I wasn't led into that distraught feeling of narcissism that I didn't really understand at the time. Did I? No, I didn't, and I couldn't have. It took me a lot of studying, a lot of reading, and a lot of writing to get out from under in the first place. So when it becomes where every single heartbeat has been in question throughout many nights, that hurts, and that kind of betrayal lingers. They shape every single thought, every action, and every dream we have, moving from here on out. But despite all of this, I still hold on to hope. Hope that I can get out from underneath all of this. I hold that hope so high that I have faith in the Lord that I have to believe. I have to believe. The Lord is my refuge in this, and that He can find a way out of this darkness. Because through this, I cling to no one but the Lord. And that faith is what kept me alive that night. Because without that faith-based stuff running through me and with me, I would have been wailing out because I would have been wailing out because I loved you and you tried to kill me. And I knew it then. And you're gonna know it. What you did to me is absolute disgusting. You're gonna know what it's done to me. Based on what has happened, you're gonna know how it feels now. I've ever wanted to do was complete my life, rebuild my life, and moving out here, I just wanted a damn bonfire here and there, you know, that kind of camaraderie. I didn't ask for that bonfire to be set inside of my own fucking heart. I don't know. With how he's moved in my life, I'd like to know anybody out here, anybody in the world at all that's got a similar one. Because I don't think you do. I think even if it is close, it isn't mine, and it does not go to the depths that this does. And that is my truth, why I believe it is complete covert war over me, because I've been in that black box my entire life, trying to figure out the reality, the real reality, from, a very maligned position you might want to add in. So it's like, yeah, sure, I'm not thinking correctly, but when the fuck in my life have I been able to think correctly? Did the government help me think correctly? Did the educational system help me think correctly? Did they train us well to vote, go to work, become slaves, make that dollar, barely make enough to live, ever? Did they train you real well to be a good slave, a good citizen? Because in that kind of depth of pain, that's all I've ever known. So reality, this isn't reality. Nothing we've ever lived has ever been reality. The inflation, the high cost of living, the fact that our dollar is junk. People in other countries don't even really want anything to do with us. We're a sham. This whole country is a sham. These kinds of fucking activities are a sham. And these are the very things that are going to insinuate and throw people into that war that they are bringing about them damn selves. Because for me, I know I'm a peaceful person. And this is a maligned me. I am not this person. I don't know how else to say that. Through the butterfly effect of a bunch of covert, narcissistic, sleuthic abuse, sloth, envy, greed, jealousy, lust, you name it, all these fucking sinful fucking creatures that want to vulturize life and just eat up every last little good thing about a person as they can. Yeah. These dumb motherfuckers are gonna fucking find out if they keep on pressing, because the spirit that people have been praying with and into and praying to the Lord with, the Lord has all the power. The Lord our God has all the power. Just because Christians and people keep their mouths shut does not mean that they don't have something to say. You do not want every last one of us out here online speaking our piece. I do not think the internet has the ability to sustain it. Just like I don't think this dumb motherfucker that moved in my life this way, thinking that he can get away with what he just did, to malign me, utilize my own girl, and I don't even think he gave one fuck who that girl was. It was just to target me.